What is going on, everybody? It's time. We are back. My name is Brian Daniels, and welcome back to the Dragoncast. I haven't done this show in 5 years, and this is the return episode. And I brought with me my podcasting partner in crime, Victor Salazar. What's up, man? How you been?
Hey, how's it going, Brian? It's been too long, man. 5 years? Are you sure? You got to do that research on that. I don't think it's been 5 years.
It has been 5. I went to our SoundCloud, which, by the way, for those of you listening, you can look at all of our listen to all of our other episodes right there on SoundCloud. And it has been 5 years, man. I just went back to the last episode 20. It's been 5 years ago, and that's just insane. And so welcome to all of you listening on SoundCloud, and welcome to all of you watching on YouTube, probably wondering who this dude is over here. In the
oh, no. Yeah, we hear a voice and now we can see a face.
Yeah. And actually, this is the first time we've done a video, partial video podcast too. So yeah, we
from here down, so it's a good thing.
Let's give a little quick backstory as to why our guest Paul here is on video and we're not. It's 10 a.m. in Los Angeles, so I'm not video ready.
We're not. It's not 10 a.m. here in the southern Indiana, but I'm just not ready. And but let's introduce this man over here, our guest today. He is the man who worked on the iconic fighting game Mortal Kombat, did the art for the cabinet, and he also created the iconic dragon logo for Mortal Kombat, Mr. Paul E. Niemeyer. Yeah, look at that, showing us the marquee and everything. He's got all kinds of stuff to show us.
That's beautiful. It's fitting, the Dragoncast to show off the Dragon Man here right now. It's perfect.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way for us to do the return episode, Dragoncast, the man who created the dragon logo.
It's interesting. My high school mascot was a dragon.
Really?
Oh, I'm telling you, it just the stars align sometimes,
Right, yeah.
It was fake.
I mean, I come from a tiny little farm town, Grant Park, Illinois. Go look it up on the, down by. Yeah. I don't know, doesn't matter. Anyway, there were like 205 kids in my entire high school. There were 43 in my graduating class.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Tiny farm town.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were the Dragons. I've never heard of a team being called the Dragons ever anywhere. How did that happen?
Yeah,
as a kid, I remember
destiny, man.
That's cool. How do we end up the Dragons?
Hey, man, it's just destiny, man. That you were meant for great things, my friend. Yeah. But Paul has done the art for the original Mortal Kombat game, the arcade cabinet. As you saw, he showed off the marquee there, which he made. And Paul, you were showing us earlier before we started the show. You have also the original actual illustration of that marquee too. You want to show that real quick? You had the.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, here's what I'm such a pack rat. Thank God. Thank God I am. Okay.
Yeah.
None of this exists anywhere. This is it. This is the only. Sadly, everything got thrown out. Why? Don't ask. Don't know.
What?
But,
no.
What the hell? Oh, sorry, it's PG.
No, that's fine. You can say hell on here. Okay.
Hell's PG. It's just, you can't say. Not those. Yeah, really bad on that last one.
That's right.
Okay. Anyway, as usual, I was digging around for one thing, and which I didn't find, but found a lot of other stuff, and which is funny because that's exactly how I ended up finding the Holy Grail, which I brought out.
Look at that.
So is that the original name of Mortal Kombat? It was supposed to be called Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon Attack, right?
That's okay. Cool.
Yeah. So this is the actual piece that was given to me in that meeting, the very first meeting, where I was brought in, and that meeting was Ed Boon, John Tobias, Jack Hager, Greg Ferris, and myself. And Greg Ferris was my boss at Bally Midway. I was actually an employee at Bally Midway from '82 to '84, and he was my immediate boss.
Right.
Excuse me. And then Paul Ferris was the whole department boss. And Paul Ferris, just pinball god, okay, but the best boss ever. Best boss ever. Oh my God. He now when I'm the boss, and you know, I've owned my own haunted house, and I'm, you know, and this town. Anyway, I gotta tell you,
that's awesome.
Anytime I had to be a boss, I modeled my bossing skills after Paul Ferris, because he was amazing. Nice. So encouraging. That whole art department here, what a unique situation. I was so young and dumb. I just assumed that's how it was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that you put a bunch of world-class illustrators in a room together and have them separated by cubicles, and then we all get to share ideas and work on projects and bounce ideas off each other. You know, I got 100 times better. In those 2 years, I really honed my craft true. I gotta say, it put me into a world-class, you know, I gotta really honestly, when I walked in that door, I couldn't believe my luck. Holy crap, they hired me?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't done anything at that point. I mean, I had a bunch of sci-fi and fantasies, you know, illustrations I'd done on the side at night, you know, when I wasn't at my sign company job, you know, drawing letters. But I'm glad I'd learned all that, because, you know, that turned out to be a dead art right after that, too. I learned how to hand letter from all the guys in the back. It was 1980.
Yeah.
And then later that year, they invented vinyl lettering. And that was the end of that.
So the original name of Mortal Kombat was actually Dragon Attack.
Right.
And were you the one responsible for naming the game Mortal Kombat? Was that you? Is that you?
Why? No.
That wasn't you, huh?
I would
have sworn it was.
No. And there's an arm wrestling match. I've heard 3 different stories about how that all came about. So,
yeah.
And none of them are true. So.
Okay.
The name Combat just came from the gods. That's how it is. That's just how it was.
There you go. Lord Raiden showed up one day.
Yeah.
You know, and
it just came down.
Big lightning crack. Lord Raiden shows up, hands me the thing, and he goes, "I shall speak to the elder gods." Okay.
And there we go. And that was it. That's how Mortal Kombat was born.
That's a weird story. I'm going to tell that story from now on.
You should. That sounds way cooler.
Yeah. The other one, the other one is I showed up and it was already decided to hand me, and I went home and made it. Not nearly as colorful as the Lord Raiden story.
Now you are, though, the man that...
Not even a lightning bolt in that story.
Right. But you did create the dragon logo, and I want to talk about that and your inspiration for that. But
create's kind of a... Yeah. I'm going to stop it right there. I don't even want to use the word create. I'm going to say illustrate. I illustrated it.
Yeah.
Right? That was already in the works. What I got. Here's the thing.
Okay.
This is none of these games or jobs or anything are the singular work of any one person.
I agree with that.
It's not.
I agree with
that. It would be. I'll tell you right now. Back then, it was probably closer to that than it ever would be. Now, there's whole armies of designers, and okay, go to an animated film. You could sit in there watching the credits. It's almost as long as the film.
Yeah, that's right.
There's so many other small armies of them work, because that's what it takes to do it.
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
Then, not so much. I mean, we were winging it, really just shooting from the hip, and throwing in where it was great. It was great. It was a wild west of it literally came down to change this, move that over here, and then I want to see that by tomorrow morning, and then do it by tomorrow morning, and it was done, and it was out the door. There went 14 committees that I had to go through to get approval before.
Now when you illustrated the dragon logo, I heard a rumor. Is it facing the wrong way? I want to know. I want to know this. I've heard
about that
people,
too. Yeah.
And it's facing the wrong way.
Where is it?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Whatever do you mean? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. And, all right, that initial meeting. Well, they had the logo pretty much, and it was based on an old kung fu fighting symbol. It hasn't changed very much. Really,
it hasn't.
Really, I stayed true to the roots because it was important. When I showed up for that first meeting, that's when they changed the name. We went through this whole over an hour, and I'm writing furiously all these notes, Ed and John are talking, and Jack's throwing in, and we got all kinds of everybody's and I'm just writing. And we get to the end, and I'm packing all my stuff up, and Ed goes, "Oh, forgot to tell you, we're changing the name to Mortal Kombat." You just something you ought to share a little earlier, maybe.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, it's Mortal Kombat now.
By the way.
By the way, it's Mortal Kombat now. Yeah.
So they handed me this, but we've been talking about Dragon Attack the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. Because in their minds, it was still Dragon Attack. They really hadn't, switched over to the new.
How long was it Dragon Attack before they changed it to Mortal Kombat? Like, how long had you known it was Dragon Attack?
Unknown.
Unknown. Okay.
But like I said, I was a freelancer. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
They never thought that game was going to be squat.
That's what I keep hearing from people. Yeah.
Hard to believe, but here's the reality of it. The only reason I was brought in, a freelancer, a guy they couldn't control, basically, really, in the big picture, right?
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
As an employee, if I were an employee, they'd own everything outright. I sneezed, they would have owned it. Okay?
Yeah.
But as a freelancer, not so much.
Right. Yeah.
They did own it, and I was, contracted to do the artwork, and, okay, I've been a freelancer for 30. Oh my God, it's been 36 years this year. You don't last that long without, keeping your mouth shut and keeping company secrets and doing the right thing and working hard.
Of course.
That's what being professional, basically. And
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Pretty basic, what do you think? Maybe not so basic. As I've been on the receiving end of the not so. Anyway, that's another story, and I need a drink in front of me for that story. So.
that's another episode right there.
That's a whole other episode. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do Dragoncast after dark.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah.
So anyway, so getting back to so Ed goes, "Yeah, we're calling it Mortal Kombat." I was like, okay, that'd be something I wouldn't need to know. And my pen dies. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I'm like, ow. So I'm digging around. I'm going, there's a green. I just happen to have a green marker. There's a green marker on the table, right?
Right.
So I grab the green marker and I scrawl, for Mortal Kombat in script, and then you see how the K is a little. And Ed looks over my shoulder and he goes, "What's a K?"
Yeah.
And I don't know. And that's the big debate too. Who came up with the K?
Yeah.
And the stories that Steve Ritchie, again, it's like I heard a story, an interview with Billy Gibbons about ZZ Top. He goes, "Where's the name come from?" He goes, "Well, there's 3 different stories, and they're all
right."
The truth is in the middle somewhere, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So so I don't know who made the K. Steve Ritchie, this says he did. Fine, good, cocaine. I don't care.
Yeah.
You guys get all arm wrestle in the back over it. I could care. Damn, pissing contest. Is that PG?
Pretty much.
Contest?
Oh, you can say
that works.
You
can
say pissing contest. Yeah. Do it.
So okay, so I take the marker and I scrawl my K, and then I realize I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna think it's upper and lower case.
Yeah.
So I become very literal. I learned a long time ago. You ask the stupid question, because you'll be halfway through at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're dragging. You're going, what did we decide on that? Oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call them
I've been there.
Yep.
You know, right.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, so you write it all out literally. You know, so and that's how it all came to be. Okay, so now back to the present day here. So, well, that was the thing too. They handed me all this stuff, and well, you can see, this, and I think this was done by John Tobias, I think. Well, this particular.
He did the illustration.
Yeah, he did. And it's you know it's a marker rough. You know, it's just kind of
okay. Yeah.
It's the feel, like, okay, it's to give the feel of it. You know,
right.
So basically, I'm given that, and then I'm told take that feel and apply it to the words Mortal Kombat and make it real nice and clean and pretty, and then it turns into this.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So,
now you
so how that comes about. You know, so
right.
Again, so you see, no one person.
Of course.
You know, I mean, I don't know who came up with this kind of a custom approach to the lettering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that was given to me, and then and the thing is, like I said before, I was kind of a lettering expert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by doing hand let. This is hand lettered. There's no computers. There were no computers.
Of course. That's
know?
Gorgeous. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Even I gotta admit, I don't pat myself on the back a little bit here, but you know, I look back on some of this stuff, and I'm kind of like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was young, because you know the hours we put in. I remember working until 4 a.m. plenty of times. I don't know. It was kind of my guide to go to bed was when I hear the birds chirping.
Right.
Well, get some sleep. You know, and then back in the day too. You know, you didn't reach over and hit enter and send it. You know, the messenger was coming at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I had 2.5 hours sleep before the messenger got there, and I had to have a package up and out the door. I actually one time I opened the front door and I forgot I had the screen door and ran through the screen door.
Hey, as long as you got outside, that's how it works.
You know, I was running. I mean, that was one of those where I'm like literally shoving it into the package while the guy ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, what the hell is this at? You know, and ran through. my wife loves that. She was standing right there with with my coffee going. You want this? Are you sure? Because what the hell is wrong with you?
So let's pick your brain a little bit on the dragons, Paul. I see that the original name was Dragon Attack that now switched over to Mortal Kombat. And once you illustrated the Mortal Kombat logo, there's dragons on it. What kind of thought process did you have in what type of dragon to use, since there's just so many different styles?
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, again, that was all predetermined before I got there. You know, they were like, well, here's this ancient kung fu fighting symbol, and here's the thing: I'm a research junkie. I really am. Well, like I said,
same. I'm the same way.
We were talking. I was part owner of Eagle Games from 2000 to 2005, and I did all the artwork on the games. This map of the Civil War.
Cool map right there. Yep, love it.
Yeah, it's an actual painting. And back in the day, when I was actually, I was pre-computer. I held out a long time. I didn't get on the computer until like 2004. That's in the graphic arts department. That's a holdout.
Yeah.
But in order to survive, you know, it's a two-edged sword. You know, Photoshop is a 2-edged sword. In one way, it's just sped up everything. And look at all the remarkable things you can do with it, and the tools. And for a well-seasoned artist like myself, it's just a candy store of stuff. Okay. Unfortunately, it has also leveled out the playing field so that maybe not all that talented people can come in and make it look like they're a whole lot more talented than they are, and a lot of clients don't know the difference, so they're just buying it, and they're bargain basementing the whole thing, which drove the prices down horrifically over the last 20 years to now. The graphic arts business is certainly not what it used to be.
Absolutely not. With the age that we're in, with computer generated graphics and things like that. I mean, I'm more old school in the sense I like the older, actual handwritten, hand drawn, and hand illustrated stuff.
Sure.
It's kind of like watching Star Wars, and you watch the original movies where everything was like hand done, custom made. And then you kind of watch the newer stuff, and it's all CGI and all that stuff. And it's just not.
It's just a completely different feel, It's a different art.
It is right. Yeah, that's exactly.
And it's not to take away from those that do it that way, because it's also an art form of its own, right?
Yeah,
but
it's just its own. It's its own piece, It's its own art form.
Mm-hmm,
I couldn't do it. I could not do that stuff now. It's mind-boggling how the
Have you tried doing the computer generated, like computer drawn, stuff? Have you experimented into that? Yeah.
Like I said, up until 2004. 2004, I got on the computer, and then I've never gotten off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to survive in a million years.
Right.
I mean, it's. I don't care how fast you are, and I'm pretty fast. I mean, I'm pretty fast, and I work very confidently. I've got
Of course, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a job, and it always was a job. And
of course,
working on Mortal Kombat back in the day, nobody ever thought, wait till this becomes amazing, worldwide phenomena.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I'm thinking, I hope they pay me in less than 60 days, not like last time.
Hope that check doesn't bounce, huh?
That's
that kind of deal.
Right.
Very practical, day-to-day, that's my job.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you're a freelancer, you put your invoice in,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I get it. Yeah, So before you did Mortal Kombat or did the illustration for that, what was the first game was that the first game you had worked on, or you
last game? That was the last game. It almost ended it pretty much ended my career.
Yeah. What was the first game you did illustrations?
I don't want to come off sounding like that.
What was the first game you did illustrations for?
Actually, the very first game I did anything for was Ms. Pac-Man Cocktail.
Oh wow, really?
Ms. Pac-Man Cocktail, huh?
My very first day, I cut some color screens.
That's actually pretty cool.
You do, curb your enthusiasm, damn you. But it was my first day, and they threw it out there, and I think it was kind of like, cut these screens, and it was kind of like, let's see how good a job he does and how fast he is.
Yeah.
And I was eager to please. I was young, like 23. Jeez, I couldn't believe my luck that I was even there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And one day I'm sitting in a little design studio on the southwest side, pumping out signs for pet stores and that sort of stuff. And next day I'm working on world renowned artwork. Well, I didn't know at the time.
Of course, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But
yeah.
And it didn't really sink in. I gotta admit, the entire time I worked there, it never really sunk in how big and how global and just how amazing all of it really, really, really was.
No doubt.
Because when we would go out to the arcade to go check out our artwork, it was the arcade down the street in Franklin Park. So it didn't have any impact.
It was local. Yeah.
Well, it went from our shipping dock to over here? I just drove over. It's 5 minutes. Who cares? But what really hit me is long after I was no longer working there. I was on a ski trip. I was a ski bum. I was an international ski bum for a long time.
Okay.
We'll call it Paul's wild years. Okay. I was a skydiver too. I had a lot.
Wow.
I had a real wild streak there in the 80s.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, man. So having worked on illustrations for a video game or cabinet, do you have a lot of gaming experience yourself? Like, did you grow up playing video games as a kid, or?
There were no video games to play when I was a kid.
No, come on. No, for real.
You know what? My influence was pinball.
Pinball? Yeah.
Pinball, yeah.
I played pinball from the time I was old, big enough to, look over the top of the machine. I remember.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
My family used to go to this resort in Wisconsin on vacation, and they had a pinball machine there, and I lived on the damn thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was my passion, and even in college, we used to go to class, and they take roll, and then we'd sneak out and go to the union and go play pinball.
That's pretty dope, man. That's pretty cool.
It's funny because I look back and I went, wow, my education was really over at the student union.
Yeah.
So I was so excited to have a chance to get a job at Bally Midway, and then when
yeah.
and I'm thinking pinball, baby.
Yeah.
Pinball games. Oh my God, this is like. Did I say wet dream?
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's totally acceptable. Yeah, no,
that's PG. We're keeping it.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm a huge.
But it was okay. So then I get there.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're gonna be working on the video. You're working for Midway. I was hired by Midway, and they were all video games. And okay, here's how naive I was. I was like, oh, damn it. I'm stuck working on these damn video games. They'll never amount to squat. Damn it! Still wanted to work on pinball.
That's
wow. So Paul, when you're at Midway thinking you're gonna work on pinball machines, and then you find out it's an arcade machine, what thought process came into that illustration there?
Well, okay, no, it wasn't like it was just like instantly. Oh, look, video games! I've never seen one.
Yeah.
No, they got to be there. Yep. In the arcade with the pinball machine.
Yeah. I mean, I was young, and my buddies and I, we'd go out to the bars, and actually we played a Battle Zone. It was a vector tank.
Yeah, I've played that.
I know that one.
You love that game.
That's a great game. Yeah.
Yeah. And, that was the thing, is all the games were out of the bars then, Ms. Pac-Man, or Pac-Man, not Ms. Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ms. Pac-Man was coming out just as I was coming on board there. So,
okay.
And that's why I was doing the color thing for the cocktail. Like all those are all kind of like the tertiary production.
Yeah.
Like the main cabinet was the primary, and then you'd have secondary and tertiary, all the way down the line, all the things. And they realized that they could make a ton of money off of making a cocktail table.
Of course.
Bars.
Of course, yeah.
So that's what that was. But actually, my very first game that I did all the artwork on was Satan's Hollow. And
wow.
Satan's Hollow.
That's cool.
I got the header for that.
Look at that.
That's amazing. That's great.
So I was 24 years old, and here's the thing: they brought over when I was hired, it was just Larry Dayback and myself working at Midway, and then they brought in all the Bally people, and these guys were the pinball gods. Literally, the people who had done the artwork on the games that I was playing in college. Just like these guys are gods. Oh my God! I'm sharing that. I got a cubicle wall between me and the God. He's over there. Holy crap! Oh my God! And another God is the boss. Oh my God! The whole damn place is crawling with him. Who the hell am I? Exactly. And I was kind of like, who the hell?
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at it like, I'm gonna get stuck taking out the trash. Watch. Really, I didn't have any experience. I was kind of like, damn it, I gotta shine somehow, but hard to shine when you're taking the trash out, So
I get it. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the longest time, I was gonna relegate it to cutting screens and doing color, so stuff that just, it had to be done, but certainly
more mundane.
Oh yeah.
More mundane.
And I was kind of like, okay, well, so be it. I'm making my living with art, and I'm 24 years old, and I'm working at Bally Midway. How crappy is that? But in the back of my mind, I wish I had a game. And Paul Ferris came to my desk one day and said, well, I got this game going, and this is it, and I want you to do the artwork. And boy, he was great. He just filled me so full of so much confidence that I guess I didn't have, but he saw I had something.
Of course.
And then he fired it up. I mean, he really did. He made me come to the realization that hey, I can do this. Hey.
When did you first feel like? When did you first realize that your art, you weren't the garbage, or taking out the garbage, and you realized that you were, like
that moment.
When it came to that moment. Okay.
Yeah. When he came, that let me know right there that he had the confidence in me to pull this off, because he had a lot of money riding on these things.
Of course.
When it goes out the door, the first thing you're going to see was this.
The artwork.
You're going to play a game. Why was this game? So because I have had more people come up to me at conventions and say, you have no idea how this was our beacon.
It was. Absolutely.
This was the thing that drew us in more than anything. And then, I hear some heartbreaking stories from people. I did not anticipate any of this happening. But at the shows, people come up to me and they want to share their Mortal Kombat stories, and I love that.
Yeah. How long have you been doing the convention scene?
Just, boy, I've got maybe 3 under my belt.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just started.
Rare appearances.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of rediscovered just like a year ago. Quite by accident.
How did that happen? Tell us about that.
I was living my little life, and I owned a haunted house for a pretty big one, like a professional major.
That's cool. Yeah.
Major show. It was big time show.
Neat.
Here in Chicago, and there's more haunted houses in Chicago than anywhere else on the planet. So competition is scary tough. So, really, but I was in the top 10, so if that says anything about it, was a good show.
That's great.
It really was. So I ran that for about 10 years. And where was I going with that? Crap. Oh my God. Senior moment. Son of a.
That is funny.
Damn it.
Getting back into the convention scene.
Yeah, how you got rediscovered? Yeah, by recently.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Thank you. Whew.
No problem.
That was close. I hate when that happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Well, okay, one of my cast members was playing the original game. This is long after the haunt was long done, years later. I still keep in touch with all of them. I've gotten a bunch of them jobs and recommendations, and I try to help them out.
That's great.
We made the haunt like a family, and we treated everybody like family. And even though the haunt closed the stores, 7 years ago, they're still family. So I still take care of them. Anyway, so one of them was playing a game and saw my name at the end of it, which I did not even know was on. I didn't even know it was at the end of the game, the first game, the original.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Misspelled. It's misspelled.
Of course. First game misspelled.
Always one last indignity. Always.
Yeah. Having the name Brian, I get it all the time. Brain.
There you go.
Yeah. I've seen
it happens
before,
all the time to me.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
My son Colin, we spelled it Khalin. He's from Kazakhstan. So we kind of went with it.
Yeah.
Just to screw with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, he saw my name at the end of it, and calls me up. And he goes, "Is this you?" Because it's not spelled the same.
Right?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's me, and I didn't know it was on there. No, it's not spelled right, is it? No.
Yeah.
So he goes, "This is like huge. Oh my God."
Yeah,
right.
But yeah.
Okay, but naive me, and here it is. This speaks to every artist. When you're done with a job, you're done with a job, and you're moving on to the next job. And that's kind of what Mortal Kombat was.
Right.
I moved on to the next job. And when they didn't want me for a second one, screw you, be that way. And then that was the end of it. Like I said,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat kind of ended my career. Not getting, you know, I had 10 years in when I did Mortal Kombat. That was kind of the end of my video game career.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, in all fairness, I was probably one of the top 20 illustrators on Michigan Avenue at the ad agencies, and that's where I was really making my money.
Yeah.
You know, my class were Kellogg's and M&M bars, and, you know, Jim Beam and Miller beer. Geez, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive resume there.
Yeah, I ended up working on a lot of movie properties. I mean, I actually got to, you know, I got a Steven Spielberg story that, you know, because I was working on Jurassic Park 2, and, you know,
Oh, that's
so, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has happened, and
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
But going back to this, so now he sees my name, calls me up, tells me about this, and I said, yeah, you know, there's a lot of time ago. I don't know about this. Dude, it's a big deal. And I said, I don't think anybody remembers that crap anymore. How naive was I?
Oh yeah.
But really, I mean, if you're kind of just walked away from it, and I got other focusing, and I'm not even paying attention anymore, you know, how would I know?
Yeah.
You know, so he took it on himself to call up Doc Mack, who owns Galloping Ghost Arcade, the biggest arcade on the planet.
I have yet to go there. I need to go there so bad. I got to make my trip.
That should be your pilgrimage to.
It is. Oh yeah.
That's yeah, definitely make the pilgrimage there. That's for sure. That place just blew me away.
I bet.
You know? And I came from, you know, hard to blow me away. And I was like, are you kidding? Holy crap! Every game I'd ever worked on was there.
That's
in forgot about.
That's in Brookfield, right? That's in Brookfield, Illinois.
Yes, Brookfield on Ogden Avenue. Yeah.
I got to go there.
Call him up
for sure.
And then, so he started petitioning me, and I was sending me, you know, texts, and you should come down. You have fans. Meet them. They'd love to talk to you. And I'm thinking, what, two whole guys that, you know, dragged themselves out of their mom's basement and, you know, and brought their 64 ounce, you know, to talk to me. That's what I pictured.
That's good.
You know, and I love those guys, don't they?
No, yeah.
I'm trying to offend any fans. Right? You know? I love you guys in your hot pockets. I do. I love it.
Those are the best kind of fans right there.
Those are good fans, man.
Down in your mom's basement with a 55-gallon drum of Mountain Dew.
That's right, man.
I love you, brothers.
That's right.
You know, but that's kind of what I had in mind that it was. And I was kind of like, no, I'm just going to really, in all honesty, I kind of thought, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to be depressed. You know, it's going to be just a handful of people, and I'm going to go.
Oh boy, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Happily wrong. Yes, absolutely.
So completely and utterly wrong. Where's my wife? She loves when this happens. He's so wrong. Oh my God.
Oh man, that's every wife, man.
That's how wives are. They love it when
and that's
what wrong.
Yeah, you know. Behind every successful man, there's a woman rolling her eyes.
Oh yeah,
idiot! How did he get this far? I don't know. He'd be dead. It might be true. She's not wrong. Okay. So anyway, he really petitioned me to come on down and you know, meet my fans and all that, and I ended up going down there on a Sunday. It was his day off. It wasn't even there. You know? You know, I didn't want to go, hey, I'm that guy. So I just kind of told him, well, I'm Paul Niemeyer, you know. If Doc, you know, just tell him I stopped by. I'm gonna play games for a little bit and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
So I went and I found Satan's Hollow. My favorite. It is. It's my favorite. You know, it's probably not the best playing game in the world.
It's a good game. I played it. I liked it.
It's a fun little game. It really is. And but like I said, I've got you know, it's a special place in my heart because it was my first game. I was 24 years old and I got to do all the artwork on an game.
Entire game,
You know,
that's amazing.
Up until that point, I was just cutting color screens and doing little sketches for stuff here and there. You know, that was a huge deal. And that Paul Ferris believed in me. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Paul, if you're out there and you're listening to this, thank you, dude. You were an amazing guy. And you know what's funny is he went back later and he was a high school art teacher. and then he became a pinball god. And then after that, went back to
That's cool.
the high school art teacher, and he was the art teacher for my nieces and nephews.
Oh, that's actually really
Yeah.
cool. That's
How
amazing.
funny is that, huh?
That's
I ran into
amazing.
him at a wedding a couple of years ago. We chatted up a little bit, but yeah,
I'm telling you, the stars aligned. They
great
aligned.
guy, you know. But anyway, so now I'm back at the arcade and I'm playing, and Doc shows up,
Mhm.
and he goes, "They told me you were here. I wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, he pulls out all this stuff. He's got like a mountain of memorabilia of
course he does.
that I worked on that he wants me
Yeah.
to sign, and I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh my God!"
amazing.
So, and I have to be honest, that was probably that moment.
That
when
was
it
a moment.
dawned on me that, oh my God, I've been really wrong about this, and I've been.
Yeah.
It probably took a good 6 months to get down there, and I was kind of kicking myself. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
What was it? I should have done this. What was I doing? So, and that was last April.
That was last
Wow.
April. Wow.
Look at that.
Right.
That's
So-
crazy,
So
man.
my life is just, on its gear since then.
So I bet your life has just changed like insanely because I know you just met Daniel Pacino like last year too, right?
Yeah. Literally about a year ago, a couple days ago was the 1 year anniversary. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met at a small event in the city at a bar.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I'd love to give him a punch, but I can't remember the name of the bar. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a blizzard that night. I remember that we were like the last blizzard, late April, and nobody came out except for the diehard fans. And then, and it's Sean On and Dan Pacina and Richard Ezio.
Yeah.
And I met Philip a couple weeks before at an event, and then I'd met those guys at night. Well, luck would have it, they had this amazing blizzard, and we had plenty of time to sit down and talk. We went out to dinner, and we talked for about 2 hours. We could talk to them for 2 days about that. We were just sharing information, and that was the first time we ever met. It's 27 years later after we worked on the same thing. We were that far apart the whole time, but never quite, connected. So I'm glad we did, because they're just amazing guys, and they become very good friends. A lot of stuff has changed in the last year. My whole life is on its ear. And it's funny, my wife knew nothing about Mortal Kombat, nothing.
Oh, wow.
She never played video games or anything. And, so when all this was coming out, I'm explaining, and she goes, and she's being very patient, listening to that. And I was just, so honey, was it a TV show?
Like, where can I catch it?
Yeah, right. What time's it come on? What?
I'm like, at one point I'm thinking, how did we get together?
Oh,
wait a minute. I remember. Never mind. Mortal Kombat did not come up at all in that conversation.
Right.
I remember how we got together. Never mind.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, and actually, it's kind of good. I mean, since then, she's like, "Oh crap, it is pretty big." It's just kind of looked into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's good because she keeps me very grounded. You're not going to do not let you. I don't think my head would. I really don't. I've never really. Again, you work on one thing and then you move on and do another thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Before I did Mortal Kombat, I worked on 3 Pac-Man games. I worked on Tron. I worked a Tapper. I worked on
that's cool.
I worked Spy Hunter with Doug Watson. Just talked to Doug Watson 2 nights ago. I had a 3-hour conversation. Awesome. They were still friends. That's so cool.
Yeah, man.
Still friends with all these guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's fun. It's great. Super talented. And that's the thing too. Everybody in that department, modest and humble.
Very humbling. Very humbling.
Because the greats always are. They don't have to blow their own horn.
No. No, you don't have to. You don't have to walk around and because, and that's the thing too. I mean, I'm sure for you, like when you first got into this convention scene and someone kind of, that guy student calls you and was like, "Hey, is that you?" and then you just went from there, going to Galloping Ghost and meeting Doc Mack for the first time and things like that, and then going to the conventions and things and hearing these stories from people who, you're highly revered to these people, and you didn't think anything of it at all, and you went this whole time not thinking anything of it at all. What's it been like for you now, Paul, going to these? You see you've only been to 3 conventions. What's it been like now, hearing these stories from your fans and connecting with them on this art that you illustrated? What's that been like?
Amazing, a little shocking. I want to tell a story that I hear a lot of variations of this story, but I'll kind of give you the general gist.
Yeah, please do. Go for it.
I have a lot of people come up and tell me this story at shows, and they'll say, "Oh, when this came out, like this was our beacon. We would go to the arcade, and I'll just say my brother and I, came maybe from an abusive family. This is the story they're telling me now. I didn't. I don't want a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's say, we came from an abusive family, and our life wasn't very happy at home. So, the only place that we could go and express ourselves and get out all that anger we had inside of us, and also bond with each other. And then there was our escape. And the more we played it, the more we realized it was our escape. So when we go to the arcade, we'd run to the beacon.
Yeah.
It was your artwork, because it's the only thing that the only happiness we really were able to share in our lives. And I'm almost in tears here in this.
For sure.
And then he gives me the coup de grace, and he goes, "Yeah, my brother's gone now, so I play for him in his memory." And I'm like,
wow. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I heard that story one time. I've heard that story 100.
I'm sure. Yeah. And you know what, Paul? I'll tell you this.
Really?
Honestly, man, when I was a kid growing up, dude, there was so many arcades I went to, like Aladdin's Castle. That's a very popular one. That's all across the U.S., and things like that.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I didn't really get into fighting games until Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was that's a great way to put it, the beacon. You would see that marquee lit up, and those arcades were real dark. They weren't very as they should be. It should be a dark lit arcade. Right. You go in and
the focus is the game.
And it was Mortal Kombat for me, man. Like, it was either Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. Those were the 2 popular fighting games at the time. Was Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat, and I would always go to Mortal Kombat first. It was there wasn't even a thought to go there and play that game. And I don't think it would be the same if the marquee was different. You illustrated a damn near perfect marquee. And it definitely made those of us that were younger at the time that experienced that when we were kids. Thank you. For real. Like for real. I mean,
you're touching my heart, really.
No, yeah, it was definitely a beacon, because I remember walking into these arcades and seeing the flock of people going to the Mortal Kombat cabinet, or there would already be a group of people there, with the marquee lit up. And of course, you'd have to wait your turn, because there'd be tens, 20 plus people standing around. But having those conversations with those people as you wait is something that I remember fondly. It's like, dude, where you're coming from, or what's going on, or, oh, how long have you been waiting, or, oh, what's your situation? That brought a lot of people together is what it did.
It brought a lot of diversity into one game, and that was the one.
Exactly.
I mean,
and that's what I remember most fondly about it is it drew the people close together. It drew people to the game, but the connections that you would make speaking to them, you would see the same guy every other week, because you're always there. He's always there. So now you created a bond over, a game, over the.
And you had a lot of healthy rivalry going into that game too, because it's kind of like what you just said, Victor. You're with the same people, same kids. Usually the same age range or whatever. And, it would go from like 10 to 16 is the age range that played this game.
Yeah.
And you got to hear the different stories, different backgrounds and things like that. And the healthy rivalries that were around that game. I can't really recall going up to any other cabinet at that time and seeing that many people.
That same, yeah.
Surrounding.
I agree.
that.
I remember going to, you know, just I don't know, just to check it out. You know, to see what, you know, step into an arcade and you'd see the lines by Mortal Kombat. I'm like, oh my God, this has really gone crazy. But at the time, I wasn't part of it anymore, so it was a little bittersweet because I was kind of like, I'm totally cut out of it. And look at this happening, you know. So hey, let's before I get too far into that, I want to talk about the stuff that I stumbled on yesterday.
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was looking for the picture of Sylvia, which I never did find. You know?
Yeah.
But I found all this other great stuff, and I shared a little bit of it with you before, and we're dragon. So let's talk some dragon stuff.
Please do. Go for it.
All right. I got dragon stuff, man. All right. Let's start out with this honey right here. The actual paste up. If anybody knows what a paste up is, in the old days, the Mortal Kombat header.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This is the black line. Now I don't know if you can see it or not. Put up the camera here, but you can see maybe there's like.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, you see the edges on everything's cut out and pasted down.
I see that. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and you know, and what I remember here, you see this dragon. The other one, this one was illustrated. This one, and then this one here was made from that one and flipped around. And I remember that the tail had different stuff going on, you know, for each side. So I had to re-illustrate, you know, those individually to make it work. You know, but this is the actual paste up for, you know, that went in front of the graphic arts camera.
That's crazy. That's real cool.
That's amazing.
And here is an early prototype film, and you see the dragons are real simple. Actually, a friend of mine wanted to test out a new graphics program on a computer he had bought.
Yeah.
And I said, computers? Really? So, you know what? So
that's
actually
great.
Kind of interesting. A computer did touch Mortal Kombat, or at least ever so slightly, and it would have been with this dragon art. I remember I had done the pencil of it, and my buddy, I can't remember his name to save my life. It's been years since I said. But anyway, he was a graphic arts guy, and he bought this expensive computer, and he wanted to play with it. And he go, let me do the line art. Let me do it. So and I was so swamped with work, and I'll tell you why in a second. That I was like, yeah, dude, if you could help me out, that would be like amazing, cool. So he did that, but unfortunately, it did not come out. It like all the line, there's no line weight variation or anything. It's like,
you know, it's not gonna work, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, but it like it's like a working model, you know.
Yeah.
That's okay because you know even though it's not the final thing, it's something we can throw into the, you know, the mix, and now we got a working model. So that's what that is.
No doubt.
Just something to visualize, you know?
Yeah, right. Mortal Kombat!
Yeah, there it is.
Probably works better this way. Mortal Kombat! I take graphics here, kids. Don't try that at home.
Yeah.
Okay, something else. Here, check this out.
Oh,
we looked at this before. We have the actual paste up for the control panel.
Yeah, look at that.
That's amazing.
And nuts.
Love it. That's great.
Yeah, and I remember that because a 5-button format was so unique at the time. You know?
Oh, totally.
It was. Yeah,
it was a whole new. Yeah, and here you see. Here's how we did production back in the day. I needed a square around the circle, so I just drew it.
Yeah.
Drew a perfect square? How do you do that?
Right.
One of the perfect circles and the perfect everything else. Really, I look back at that stuff, I'm going, how the hell? Really? Okay, look. Like these arches here. Those are
yeah.
What idiot did that?
Oh yeah, right, right.
So yeah, I also came across the pencil sketches for every dragon. Every
Oh,
dragon
that's like
on the all the ones on the all of them, everything. Even the
That's
side one, it's
amazing.
huge. It's a huge big pencil thing. I didn't know I had any of that. I was hoping I did. I remember doing them.
That's historic, man. You've got like an archive.
Yeah.
You have an archive. It's not. You're not a pack rat. You're an archiver.
That's what we call it.
Let's call it what it is. Historian.
I mean, that's what it is. It's history, man. So are you? So are you working? Are you working on anything currently? Like, you got any current projects you could talk about?
Oh God, I have 4 or 5 current projects going on right now.
Are you able to talk about it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Some I can't, but yeah, but some I can.
Sure.
This one I'm doing. Actually, this is for a guy I grew up with. Went to high school. Or I didn't go to high school with him. He's from the same hometown. There's a number of years between us, but
okay.
We're from the same hometown. He's a dragon.
Yeah.
He came to me recently, and he's real involved with MX bikes and doing custom bikes, and he's working for a company that does custom suspensions for racing bikes, kind of a niche industry.
Yeah.
So they built a custom-made MX bike that they're going to take to shows, and they want to decorate it all up. So they contacted me, and I am doing art on it. That we're making the whole bike look like it is a medieval Japanese dragon tattoo.
See,
Ooh.
that's amazing.
I like that. I
literally just started doing the ink line on it last night, and I think that's cool. I found some 40-year-old frosted vellum while I was digging around.
Oh wow!
And here, that's what this stuff is. That's this background material. It's frosted vellum. And I look at this stuff like they don't make it anymore.
No.
And I'm thinking at the time I just glued this stuff to it, but we use it for illustration. But that's why I did it. It's so razor clean. Okay, so anyway, I started that illustration. This is the ink line I did last night.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Half of a dragon, and then it'll be scanned in. And of course, we'll flop it, and then we'll do the color on top of it. But you can see where that's going.
That's beautiful.
And I love it.
So here I am. I'm doing it just like the old days. Pen and ink, and it's all. It's funny. I took out the French curve and started doing. I'm going. This is gonna take forever, and I ended up really. I forgot. I just freehanded. It was faster. It's 100 times faster. That's all freehand.
That's beautiful to do it freehand. Look at that.
Yeah. Skills. It's kind of like when everybody says, when they look at artwork and they go, "How long did that take you?" And I go, 40 years.
That's a great answer. That's what that is.
That's a really good answer. Yeah.
I don't know. I got kind of a pet peeve when I go to some of these artists' sites, like on Facebook or something. I did this in an hour. Oh, screw you.
That's years of work. Yeah.
Right. Was it a speed contest? Because if it wasn't, then fail. Yeah, it's about the good art. I don't care how long it took you to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was genius and it took you an hour, then good. But you don't tell them it took you an hour.
Yeah. No,
that's not the genius part.
No, it took you all. It's a build-up, man.
That's diminishing the genius part.
Yeah, it's a build-up, man.
Right.
Well, you have to understand, we live in a society where everybody wants it quick. We want fast.
Immediate gratification. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Immediate gratification.
Head there, man. No kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody wants everything now.
They want that fast and quick success. So I like your 40-year answer because
that's beautiful. I love it.
You don't shy away from it. Yeah, it took me a hell of a long time. Like I didn't, this didn't happen overnight.
Well, you know how that all came about is right now. Now I've got clients where they're like, "You're charging me $2,000. You spent 2 days on that." No, I spent 40 years on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're getting it in 2 days because I got 40 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I saved you a ton of time, and that's why it's cost you the $2,000.
You're paying for the experience, not the time it took.
That's right. You're paying for the 40 years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So at that point, it's a bargain.
Rightfully so.
$50 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I like that.
Let me,
I like that answer. That's good.
let me write that down.
Right.
$50 a year.
Right.
You damn crybaby, shut up!
I like that. I like that a lot.
So I know you had some conventions you were going to go to.
Oh god.
We're going to go to.
Oh man.
Do you? I think what we should try to do. I actually have a friend of mine who. Have you heard of the Louisville Arcade Expo, Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been to it? Have you ever been?
Oh no.
We should try to. A friend of mine works on it, and I've been the last 3 years. I've been to it,
Cool.
and I know Dan Pacino was there this year before everything got shut down.
Right. Right.
And we should try to.
Actually, I reached out and it was too late.
Yeah.
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 Because that's kind of it right now. Is like now that I've done, I did a game on in Phoenix.
Mhm.
John Lester, great guy. God, John, he's amazing.
Nice.
And I did Portland. Crap, what was it called? Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
The senior moment.
You're good. You're good.
But that was last October. Those are the only two. Out of town ones.
Yeah.
Did a couple of events here in Chicago, like the bar, and actually my very, very, very first one was at Hollywood Boulevard Cinema in I think it's Darien, or maybe that's Woodridge. It might be Woodridge, actually. But the funny thing is, I had actually created the artwork for Mortal Kombat like a mile and a half from the spot. I lived in Woodridge when I did it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that's why I made the art. So during that event,
yeah,
Mr. Naive, who'd never done an event before, I'm standing on stage and, fun factoid. I did the artwork for Mortal Kombat less than a mile and a half from this very spot. And there was like from the whole audience. It kind of scared me. I was like, what the hell?
They started flocking to that mile and a half location, huh?
I was like, holy crap, don't say the address, my old neighbors will be pissed.
Yeah? No,
we've come to see the spot. Get out!
Right.
Hey. You're frightening the children.
Man, that's how fanatics are, man. They got to see everything and where it was done and the exact spot it was done,
That's how it is, man.
Yeah, little spare room in the back of the house,
Well, man, you're just getting started. Conventions, I know it's a bad time right now, but
kick it again.
You're gonna find yourself. Oh, dude, I'm telling you what. I've been going to conventions for years. I review conventions as part of what I do too. So like, the best is yet to come, my friend.
Oh, I don't
tell you what.
Yeah.
I'm totally optimistic about all of that.
You gotta be.
Yeah, definitely having a lot of fun doing all this stuff and meeting some just amazing.
I mean, how does it feel getting brought back into Mortal Kombat after that long? I mean, to be thrust kind of right back into that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, because like you said, it was like I moved on to the next thing, and now you're back. You're kind of like back.
Yeah.
To be surrounded by the love and the fans and all that.
That's what it is. That really surrounded by the love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe it sounds corny. I don't know. I don't care.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's not corny.
No, that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
It's gray hair. I've lived a lot. I've seen a lot. Good, bad, otherwise.
Yeah.
Really, it comes down to how much love you can spend in the world. It really is.
Does it feel good to be put in that position? Because I mean,
I love it.
You get to do that. You get to you're in that. You're kind of in that sort of like spotlight, if you will, in that space.
Well, the nice thing about it is you never take it away from me. It's
absolutely not.
That always exists, and it can't be diminished. It can't be taken away. It is what it is, and now I kind of feel like I have a responsibility.
Oh, absolutely.
To it, and also to the fans.
Absolutely.
To come and share this stuff with them. It's so important to them. It's important to me too. But it's important to me because it's important to them.
Absolutely.
Not so much that
It's a mutual.
It's not important to me, you know. All right. As an artist, that year I worked on 4 different games. That same year that I did Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I poured my heart and soul and energy into each and every one of them the same. No different.
For sure.
Mortal Kombat became what it did.
Yeah.
Time Killers fell to the wayside. And the other 2 games, I cannot even remember their names because they never saw the light of day.
Right.
That's how it is. You don't know how it's going to go down or what's going to happen or what's going to be popular. You know.
Have you interacted with those fans who are talking to you about stuff that you forgot about that you worked on too? Like they're like, because you get those fans who like they are fully in, like when they discover you, then they like fully invest themselves in your work outside of Mortal Kombat. So now they're
looking
telling
at
you
other
about
work,
this stuff like, wait, what? How did you even know that about me?
Oh.
Or I forgot about that about myself.
I got the perfect example. Perfect example of that.
Yeah.
A little known game called Professor Pac-Man.
Okay.
You know, and really, that was one of those things that, I'm sure nobody even remembers that, you know. Oh boy, do they remember it. It turns out, it was a major flop. Again, 300 games were made. That was the magic number. For any kind of prototype being made, the original number on Mortal Kombat was 300 games.
Yeah.
And I remember, great story, Dan Pacino, we were at dinner one night, he was telling me that he was willing to forego payment. He wanted a game. He did. He was like, I'll even skip the money.
Yeah.
Give me an actual game. He wanted a game. He wanted the game so bad he could taste it.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So they're in a meeting and they said, well, the first run's going to be 300, and he quietly goes 301.
I love that.
And he went, what? He goes 301. I want my game.
Right.
Unfortunately, they kind of gave him the, you know.
Yeah.
Here's your one, right?
Here's your one. You got your one. It's right here.
Well played, sir. Well played. I got your one right here. Now there goes your PG rating.
That's okay. That's funny.
Right down the tubes it went. Oh, well, we got this far before it went to hell.
Almost made it, guys. Almost made it.
And for those who don't know, we've referenced Dan Pacino before. He is a guy who he worked on Mortal Kombat. He worked on a lot, the first game, and he also played Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Scorpion. He's a fantastic dude. I've had the honor of meeting him several times.
God, I love hanging out with him. I really do. Just so much fun. And my side hurt. I was laughing so hard just hanging out with him.
Yep. Yeah.
When we were in Phoenix, we went to some arcade, and boy, they treated us like royalty. They had a huge line going around the block, and the sea parted, and we walked through this, right to the front door, baby. And that was my first show, and I'm kind of looking at this, going, "What?
Yeah.
And I remember him looking at me. He goes, "It's on, baby." Because on the way over there, he was kind of giving me Celebrity 101. Here's what you do. Here's what you don't do. Here's what you say. Here's what you don't say.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm start writing this shit down, man.
There's a book.
This is gold, baby. This is gold. You know?
There's a book you have to read, and you got to do a quiz on before you can go do a con.
Right.
But Paul, man. Thank you for being on the show. We got to go ahead and go, but thank you, man, so much for sharing these stories with us, your love of art, your love of Mortal Kombat, the fans, and everything, and the passion that you have for doing what it is that you do. I look forward to, once things open back up again from what's going on in the world, to you going to conventions and
I love them. I love meeting the fans.
Man. Really, I can't wait to meet you in person and have a drink with you and us talk and stuff. I'm so looking forward to it. And
you gotta zoom me into that one because can't hang out from
dude,
LA, dude.
We got you, man. We got you, brother. Is there anything before we go, Paul, that you wanted to promote that you're currently working on or what you got going on?
Well, actually, I just got done doing 3 illustrations. They're pretty similar. One is both Scorpion and Lord Raiden, and then the other one is the other 2 are individual. One of Scorpion by himself and Lord Raiden by himself. And that artwork was originally commissioned by Jeffrey Wittenhagen for his new book that's coming out on video game art culture, 1992. So actually, I met him in Phoenix at that bar. There's a tie-in.
Nice. There you go.
So I met him at that bar, and again, we hit it off immediately. I love that these guys are just like amazing people, and there's this great energy and passion and creative flow that's in them that I just immediately hit on. Just clicked on it, and we felt like. You ever meet somebody like that where you're just like immediately understanding each other, and you're and, that's what it was like with Dan Pacina and Jeffrey, and just a lot of guys and all those guys. And we all hit it off immediately. So anyway, he hit me up for next morning at breakfast. He was staying in the same hotel, and we were talking about. He goes, "Hey, I got this book." He goes, "How cool would it be to have the Mortal Kombat artist do the artwork for the cover of the book about video games from 1992. I thought that would be pretty cool. I'm all for it, So he said, "Well, and the books. It probably. I think he said the books it's later this year. So not right away. It's not going to happen for a while. So it was kind of when you get around to it. Well, this whole COVID-19 thing happened, and I kind of got around to it.
Yeah.
So really, and it was kind of my pet project. That was. I was almost kind of like, I can't wait. And I got time to play with this. I've been dying, and I've been doing sketches on the side in between other projects. So anyway, I've got those on Treasure Trove auctions.
Okay.
Exclusively there. Yeah, I've just been up with those guys.
Nice.
They made me a great deal, and
Nice.
we hit it off. So I'm doing an exclusive thing there. And go to my Facebook page. There's a link there that'll take you to the page if you're interested in purchasing those.
Okay.
And there's other stuff, so there you go.
Perfect, man. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Paul, for taking the time today to hang out with Victor and I. I always love hearing stories from people that have done art and worked on games or whatever. I just love the stories. I'm a big fan of your work, obviously, and I hope to one day have a piece of yours hanging up on my wall. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, man. I mean, and
apparently the basement is just jam packed full. I need to do some digging.
Maybe. Well, I talked to Dan last night, and I was gonna surprise you.
Oh,
have him on the show out of nowhere, and you not know.
Dan Pacina?
And he said he couldn't, and he said he couldn't make it because he's still doing one-on-one private lessons with people up there.
Yes.
So. What I would like to do is later on down the road, get you back and get him on, and have us all just have one amazing.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That would be amazing.
I was trying to surprise you to have him on, but it couldn't work out.
That would have you do know I've had a heart attack, so you don't want to be pushing.
I did not know that. So kind of.
No, let's not push that envelope.
Yeah, be careful with surprises, huh?
I know, right?
Oh, awesome.
But I'd love to get the two of you on together, and I think that'd be a fun episode to do.
Oh yeah, man, the stories coming out of that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know who really? Tim Kitzrow, the voice of NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one right there.
He's insane.
I would love to talk with him. I've never talked with him. I would love to talk with him.
You got to get him on. I'm telling you, he's like hanging out with Robin Williams.
If you can get him, I would love to have him on our show. If we can get me.
Oh hell yeah!
Right?
Would love that. That'd be.
We gotta open that show with boom shakalaka.
Yeah, man.
yeah. You do.
He's on fire,
dude. Yeah, get him in touch with us, man. We would love that.
Yeah, here, look. He just texts me.
No way.
Yeah, get him in touch with us, man. We would love to have him on and do a show about PHM.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, oh, he's a rip.
That would be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Paul, once again for having us on the show, and thank you for those of you listening to us on SoundCloud, watching on YouTube. And Paul, I'll get some links from you for your stuff for people to purchase your stuff.
Oh, that'd be super.
And we'll throw that. Okay. And we'll throw that on the YouTube underneath here, and for people to purchase your stuff. Channel, yeah. And thank you guys for watching. And we will have another fine episode of Dragoncast next Monday. And because we never know what the hell we're going to talk about until probably 3 days before the show. So
the night before, usually.
But this one we knew. We've known about this for a minute. So, but,
I almost forgot. I found a dragon sketch. I don't even know what it was for, but I did.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
One last dragon thing. I don't know where the hell it came from.
But thank you guys for watching. And my name is Brian Daniels, and I got Victor Salazar here, and of course the amazing Paul E. Niemeyer. Thank you guys, and you guys have a great day. Until next time, see ya.
Stay safe and healthy.
All right, guys.